You say you want to hit 300, but you take passive BP rounds. You swing scared in the box. You hope the pitcher makes a mistake, and you're okay with just making contact. Newsflash! 300 hitters don't swing like that. In this video, I'm going to show you how elite hitters train, how they prepare, and how they swing, and what separates them from the dudes that are stuck at 150. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Ian Miller, and I was a 9-hole hitter from Little League to the big leagues. I was never the best hitter or the most physically gifted, but I was always chasing a 300 batting average. I was just like you. And the 9-hole is where the next generation of underdog champions are built. Let's talk about hitting 300 today and what the majority of players get wrong about it, man. First and foremost, baseball players think that they can practice like a 6 and then produce level 10 results. Gentlemen, I have an abundantly clear and just straightforward message for you. That's not how hitting 300 works. Having a hopeful plan or hoping for a base hit or a barrel is not a beneficial or good hitting strategy. In order for us to hit 300, we have to become a 300 hitter. We have to become the player that is capable of hitting 300. Guess what that looks like? First and foremost, that doesn't look like a lazy half speed swing in batting practice. Okay? What the majority of baseball players don't seem to be able to wrap their heads around is that 300 hitters take a different batting practice. Okay, if we want to have level 10 results, we have to continuously put forth level 10 effort. Okay, we need to be practicing game-like speed, and we need to be going about it with game-like intent. We can't just be going through the motions in batting practice. We can't have lazy swings. We can't have a lazy approach in batting practice. Oftentimes, fellas, if we are struggling in the game, it starts with our batting practice. If we want to bring out the beast, come first pitch, come 7:05 when the game rolls around, we need to be practicing like that in batting practice. If you want to have 300 results, okay, during the season, practice like a 300 hitter. First and foremost, it cannot be lazy. It can't be half speed. We need to be all in, okay? Secondly, man, I don't even know if secondly is a word. Second, okay, there are an abundance of fear-based thoughts or words or verbiage or ways that we talk to ourselves in the game. What does that even mean, Ian? Well, it looks like protecting. It looks like trying to just put the ball in play or just battle something off or just, protect and foul it off, get to the next pitch, man. That's a terrible strategy. Oftentimes, fellas, if we are bought into that concept, like that is what our all-encompassing game starts to be like. We exude those types of characteristics on the baseball field, not just in the box, dude, but now we take it on the in the base paths. We take it into the outfield. We are playing scared. We're now like protecting in the outfield or at shortstop, and it all starts with how we start talking to ourselves. All right, if we are protecting at the plate, if we are looking for something, if we are sitting on something, if we're hoping for a fastball, that is a terrible way to go about our business at the plate. That's not how 300 hitters go about their business. The majority of baseball players get that wrong. They can't wrap their heads around that concept. On the flip side, what does that look like, man? Okay, if we don't want to be hoping, we don't want to be passive, we don't want to just be like reactionary, okay? It looks like owning. It looks like hunting the fastball. It looks like being locked in and not deviating from our approach, dude. It looks like having confidence in our ability, and it looks like being prepared, man. If we have fear-based thoughts or if we talk to ourselves in a fear-based manner during the game, what do we think our results are going to be like, fellas? What do we think is going to happen? What's our batting average going to result in? It's probably going to reflect protecting, looking, sitting, hoping, wishing. And fellas, those are not good like 300 hitting strategies. That's not what's going to happen, okay? Also, what the majority of baseball players and hitters get wrong when it comes to hitting 300 and putting forth amazing results in an all-star season is that they have no real approach. Okay, we say we want to go up there and we want to hit the gap. We want to hit this ball over the center fielder's head. We want to hit a backspun piss missile rocket line drive. Okay, dude, but that's great. What are we going to be on time for? What are we hunting? What is the quadrant or area of the zone that we are actively hunting and being aggressive in? Okay. Why are we like hunting that pitch in that situation, in that count? What did he go to previously, dude? Like, no one has a real approach. And if we want to hit 300, we need to be locked into something on purpose, with purpose. And there needs to be a why behind it. It's not just what the pitcher dictates. Okay. What players get wrong when it comes to hitting 300 is that their batting practice doesn't translate. They don't practice at a 300 level. They have these fear-based thoughts and their verbiage and the way that they talk to themselves, man, and it ends up coming out in the way that they play. And then number three, dude, there's just no real approach. They don't understand that. They're just going with the flow. They are going about their business and they're at bat based off of what the pitcher is dictating, what the pitcher is throwing in, what counts, in, out. You're just going to let the pitcher dictate that, man? That's not what hitting 300 looks like. That's not how you go about hitting 300, okay? Little challenge for you fellas this week, man. How many of you guys are filming your batting practice? How many of you guys are going about your business behind the scenes when nobody's looking with intent like that? Do you know why your swing's off in batting practice in certain situations, certain days, right? Film it, dude. Ask yourself, does this swing profile, how I'm going about my business, what my swing looks like, how I'm executing in batting practice, is this what a 300 hitter looks like? Does this swing profile, does this execution, does all of this, is this a 300 hitter at work here? Film it. Get locked into your batting practice and your swing. We've talked about Freddie Freeman on this show many a times, okay? He is still doing it at his age. I don't even know how old that dude is, but he's still doing it. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd hit 300 for another 10 years. It's crazy. Freddie Freeman takes a boring batting practice. He said anybody can hit poolside home runs. He's not wrong, man. Anybody can drop the back shoulder and try to get sexy and try to see how far they can hit it. Hit top spin burners, brother. I get it. Okay? How many of us can be locked in and just hit back spun line drives, one hoppers through the infield? They translate. Okay? They translate. Double A for me is kind of where like the video aspect of stuff really started coming into play. In Double A, the Southern League, Double A, the Texas League, man, these guys were filming their batting practice. They were filming every single swing, every single pitch, all this stuff. That's where we really started to get meticulous on this stuff. Whatever level you're at, if it's under Double A, you can get a competitive advantage. You can get further ahead than I was at your age if you just start locking in, okay? Does that make sense? I hope so. Next, okay, we just talked about what most hitters get wrong when it comes to hitting 300, all right? Let's talk about what 300 hitters now actually do. First and foremost, they have a plan. They are locked in. They do not deviate. They are prepared. They are on time. It's on purpose, with purpose. 300 hitters are aggressive. They are under control, and they do not deviate from what they're hunting for, okay? They have it in their minds. If this guy is going to throw a fastball, what am I going to do with it? They can answer that question. They are on time for it. They have the intent on doing damage every single pitch, man. There's intent behind every single swing. They're crystal clear on what they're hunting, dude. They attack mistakes. If a pitcher is going to just groove a first pitch fastball, first pitch of the game, first pitch of the AB, you're going to let that go by? What? What are we doing, man? If you know he's going to throw a first pitch fastball to try to get ahead or just get me over, man, you got to be hunting. If you want to hit 300, you cannot be passive and just let that stuff go by, man. We have to attack mistakes, especially early in counts if we want to be 300 hitters. That's what they do, man. They don't just take their foot off the gas pedal in a 3-0 count or an 0-0 count or a 3-1 count because they just want to see what it looks like, man. They're always on the offensive. There is intention behind every single swing, every single load, every single ready position, man. They know what they're hunting, and they are fully locked in on it. Their batting practice, okay? 300 hitters practice game speed consistently. There's pressure locked in on that, dude. There's stakes tied to it, whether it's competitions, man, whether it is like if you have to pick up the BP balls and like you have to pick all the balls up and put them in the bucket. If you don't execute on 7 out of 10 backspun line drives, like, dude, let's lock in on doing BP on purpose with purpose. Game speed, man. 300 hitters turn the machine up and they challenge themselves. They fail, okay? A lot of times, dude, we go about a mechanic or we go about our mechanics, our swing. We try to practice until we get it right, okay? And then take the gloves off, boom, call it quits, bro. We're done. We can go to sleep. Good. That's not what 300 hitters do, man. They practice until they can't fail. How crazy is that? Hit until your hands bleed, dude. Hit until it becomes muscle memory. How many of us can say that? Okay? These guys go about their business a little differently. We go until we try to get it right. These guys go until they literally can't get it wrong. They obsess over the little things, man. The things that are often overlooked. Whether it is a, front foot, whether it's the back heel, dude, whether it's the front knee, whether it is, the belt buckle, whatever it is, man. These guys are locked in on the little things, especially when it comes to pitchers' tendencies. Especially, dude. Especially when it comes to certain situations and certain counts. If like pitchers fall into habits, or staffs or teams fall into habits, man, dude, they keep a notebook. Okay, 300 hitters keep a notebook, man. Okay, it's on purpose with purpose, dude. If we are keeping track of certain things, we can get ahead in certain situations. Okay, I wanted to keep a notebook on certain pitchers and what they threw me, dude. Right? Salt Lake, May 26th, dude, 2019. This is the year I debuted in the big leagues, man. I wanted to go about my business better than anybody else, and I wanted to keep track of things, man. So like these guys threw me certain pitches in certain situations on May 26th. When I faced them again in June, I saw what they threw me. I could go back into my notes and saw what their off speed looked like in that 2-0 count. He went to a 2-0 slider in that situation with a man on second base. It was more of a frisbee. It didn't necessarily have that down action. That's what this is about. Okay? Keep a notebook. Right? Keep track of that stuff, man. I kept track of everything that was thrown at me, in what situations, by what pitchers, like what ended up happening from that, and who threw it, man. Right? Hopefully that makes sense to you guys, dude. I don't want to go too far into the notebook situation because we are going to dive into it even further in more videos moving further. Now, you can't hit 300 if you don't swing like it. We understand that, okay? How do we train like a 300 hitter, dude? How do we train with intent? How do we lock into what we're doing and refine our mechanics so that we can exponentially get closer to that 300 season and maximize our careers? Well, I got news for you. Every single round, every single rep, every single practice, and every single drill needs to have a purpose. It starts with the smallest stuff, dude. It starts off the tee. Can we lock into what we're doing off the tee before everybody is like, they're not even in the building yet, dude? Can we own that stuff from the ground up? Everything has to have a purpose. It takes conscious effort, dude. You are going to drain mental HP by doing that. It truly is not easy being locked in and having that type of high frequency intent on every single swing and rep. But dude, hitting 300 is not easy. And if we want to have like insane results, we need to be able to do insane things like that. Be intentional every single round, every single rep. Swing to win. Are we just swinging to make contact, dude? Or are we swinging on purpose with purpose, man? What are we trying to accomplish? What are we trying to generate and do when we barrel up this baseball? We're not just looking to survive. We're looking to eat. We need to be hungry. We need to have round structure, okay? So our batting practice needs to be a little bit different. If we want to achieve different results, dude, we need to go about our business differently. It starts in batting practice. Round structure, 300 hitters, man. First round, whether they widen out or whether they choke up, they let it get deep. It's not necessarily just going oppo. We will confuse letting it get deep and travel with just flicking it oppo and getting jammed, right? And slicing it oppo, dude. Let it get deep, let it travel. That's what these guys do. They want to see their eyes and they want to sync with their hands and they want to get that stuff all in one, okay? They want to have this stuff operating fluid and in motion. Let it get deep, trust the hands, and then as it progresses, dude, depending on what type of hitter you are, if you want to hit gap-to-gap piss missiles, dude, if you want to stay right center, left center, back spun over the center fielder's head, or if you're going to Yankee Doodle, try to pull everything, whatever the case is, it doesn't matter. Depending on who you are as a baseball player, it is what it is. But as the rounds keep going on, we start locking into what our game approach is going to be, man, right? Again, Freddie Freeman, takes a boring batting practice, dude. He hits low line one hoppers through the infield, oppo, shortstop, between the second base bag and the shortstop. Just one hop line drives, man, because if he's on time in the game, it is going to translate to backspun line drives. Pete Alonso, AAA, Las Vegas, 2018. I had gotten called up to AAA for the first time. I'm playing Pete Alonso. It's crazy, man. Everybody's making such a big deal about this guy, and he can absolutely rake, dude. He's got a different energy about him. I remember getting on first base and asking him, bro, what is your batting practice like? What are you trying to do in batting practice that translates so well for you in the game? And he said, dude, I'm just trying to hit backspun piss missiles in batting practice. I am just trying to find the barrel, and I'm trying to hit hard backspun line drives into the outfield. I don't care where it goes. I don't care what it looks like. It will translate in the game. And sure enough, you guys see what Pete Alonso's doing, right? That guy can absolutely bang. Also, when it comes to 300 hitters, dude, whether it's like 0-0, whether it is 1-0, 2-0, 3-1, 3-0, 2-2, man, we have to have a certain approach. In my opinion, it shouldn't be any different. If we start like switching up our approach depending on the pitcher or depending on the count or depending on like the lights or the field, like, dude, we are going to be all over the place, okay? We need to compete every single pitch, every single count. We need to train it in, and we need to keep it simple. We shouldn't necessarily have different approaches for every single counts or every single count, dude. 300 hitters, bro, they try to keep it simple. They try to be able to repeat it, and they try to go about their business at a high level, whether it is Game 7 of the World Series or it is the first day of practice, okay? Shouldn't be any different. Pay attention this week, man. Go about your batting practice a little differently. Compete in every single swing this week. Track it. Track how it changes your results, man. I bet your results go up a little bit, right? It's crazy how we can go about our business that way and then expect those type of results, but we can't expect to be a 300 hitter unless we become that type of dude by putting in 300 level work. You want to hit 300? Swing like it. Train like it. Compete like it. That average you want is built in the cages, man. It's not built on social media, right? Drop a comment with what you're fixing in your swing this week. Like and subscribe for weekly Underdog Truth, and join the 9-Hole newsletter to sharpen your edge. I appreciate you guys being here. As always, keep grinding.